Now that we have our pattern that's prepared, you're going to go ahead and use a piece of fusible web, which has a glue on one side and a paper carrier on the other. You're going to put it with the paper carrier up. Normally I trace this with a mechanical pencil, but for this demonstration I'm going to use a marking pen so you can see that. First we're going to trace around the outside. Let me just show you again. It comes with a heavy black outline. We're going to trace around just the outside of the complete shape, in this case the ladybug. So I'm going to carefully trace around all of my outline that's on the outside, on the paper side of my fusible web. You're going to want to carefully do that when you're making your own. And when you get done, you will have just the outside of your ladybug, or whatever your design now is. You're going to take your scissors or your rotary cutter, and you're going to trim off the excess, but not on the line that you've drawn. Leave some fusible web around that. And then you'll remove that. And then you're going to place your fusible web, glue side down, paper side up, on a piece of black fabric. You're going to take your iron and you're going to fuse it down using the manufacturer's instruction. Fuse it in place. And once you're done with that, you're going to cut around the outside, cut around right on your line that you had drawn. When you're done, you'll end up with a black silhouette like this of your ladybug. You're then going to place your pattern back down. Take another piece of fusible web, and you're going to trace around the inside of the different elements in your design. You want to go ahead and number each of your different parts. So if you're doing the ladybug, for instance, you want to number the parts that are close together, which is nice, but any order will be fine. And you're going to go ahead and number each part like so. Go ahead and place your fusible web down and trace around the inside of the heavy black outline. So for instance, this time we're doing the shell of the ladybug. And we're going to trace around the parts, the inside elements also, because those will be removed. And make an X on those to remind yourself to cut those out. Again, you're going to trace around, or I'm sorry, you're going to cut again the excess fusible web off like we did before. Place it down on the corresponding color. Make sure that you, on the colored fabric, that you always fuse to the wrong side of the fabric. This is the right side, that's the wrong side. You're going to take this piece of your pattern and fuse it down in place. Once you fuse it in place, you're going to cut it out. So now we'd have all the shells. We're going to go ahead and repeat that on our pattern with the different elements. So we then would trace around all of the spots and the head and the antennas and glue them down to the corresponding fabric that your pattern requires. You're then going to take the black silhouette and all of your different parts that you've cut out, place them back down on the black silhouette following your pattern, and using your numbers that you drew on your pattern so that you know the placement. And I just put them all on there and make sure that they're going to fit and that I have them in the right place. And if for some reason some of them are a little too big, just go ahead and trim off the excess and make sure they all fit together like they should. Because you've traced on the inside and the outside of the heavy black outline, it automatically creates the outline that's created around each of the different design elements. You would then go ahead and peel off the paper backing. I just make a bend in it and then take off the backing, and you'll do that on all of your pieces, place them back on there, and then fuse them down in place. After you have them fused down in place, you would then place them on your background fabric, or whatever your block is, or it could be a pieced block or a plain piece of fabric. You get it all situated. Of course, it's glued in place, pressed in place. You're going to go ahead and press again your ladybug down, and he'll be now permanent on your fabric. They'll go ahead then and piece your quilt together and go ahead and quilt all over your ladybug and your background. Have fun quilting, and we hope you enjoy using quilted frog patterns.